Okay, when last we left, it was a bloody long time ago. Trying to remember everything. There had been a rash of criminal activity. Three individuals, one in Bayside, somewhere up here, one down near down here somewhere in Midtown, and then another one over here in Midtown on the left. So after you caught halted all three, last one being a young minor girl, Abyss, Heaven Mystic decided that she was going to try to talk to them and see if she could make out anything. So she visited the young man and the young woman, and the results of that, could you just remind us please, Heaven Mystic, what were the results?
Shoot.
That's okay.
It is, I don't remember. Did I talk to you again?
You talked to the young lad who did the jewellery heist and the young woman who was trying to rob the bank.
Oh, right.
The young woman had the elderly caregivers.
Yeah. I don't remember the in-depth detail, but I know um I talked the boy.
Mm-hmm.
I said I was going to take him under my wing, right?
Yep, that's right.
It, and I don't remember what I was doing for the girl.
The
I think
girl,
oh, wait a minute, she was a foster child,
yes.
and what she was doing was she was doing what she was doing because the people who raised her, the last
Yeah.
couple who got her, who were elderly, were in financial situations, and I said that I would take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if I was taking her under the wing again as well. I don't
I
remember that
think you
one though.
were, or intimated that she could be included in the group in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I used my charisma to convince the boy that he could use his abilities in a more positive way.
Yep. Do you remember the information he gave you?
Fortunately, I am so sorry.
That's okay. No, that's all cool. So, the person or persons that were responsible for his, um, my brain's having the same problem. It's having a brain fart moment, not endowment. His in super ring, if there's such a word, um, was someone called the Mechanic. Um, and he did give you a location. So the Mechanic, you haven't really. Oh, I've got to zoom in. Sorry, guys. Just give me a second to zoom in. The Mechanic was in Midtown. I'm trying to find it. Okay, so you see these two light grey pieces in Midtown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
so that there is that whole complex is part of the hospital. He um, was on K Street. There's apparently some sort of establishment on K Street, and K Street goes along that whole line there. And somewhere along there, because Kulak also went to the subway, if you remember. The subway was over this side
well, he did
somewhere.
stuff with the homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Been in
apparently
trouble.
they had, or one of them had seen something, and you're trying to get a bit of information on them. But basically, if you put the information together, something is happening around this area here somewhere is where a lot of the people, yeah, the strange guy who came and talked to some of the homeless who went missing, were given an address in that area. I believe, Kulak, you were told that that person might be visiting again the next night.
Yep, John C is here in a couple of days, was what I was told by the homeless man.
Yeah, so, and that dotted line along here, that's
Yeah.
the tram line, or the underground line you were bringing back to the group. Together, you've got something happening on K Road near the hospital, and something happening over here that seems to be connected in some way, shape or form. Not sure what. That's what you've got to go with, guys.
Cool.
So I'm not sure what you want to do with that information. Ever Mystic, it's going to take, well, you're going to, the young man and the young woman, the young man, not the young woman, but the young man is going to have to go through the courts because he's of legal age. He's going to be tried as an adult, whereas the young woman is just under the age, so she sort of is going to have to go through the juvenile courts. I'm assuming you're going to hire lawyers to do their best and all that sort of stuff? Yep. Okay, cool. That will take a couple of weeks process, but yeah, that's in the pipelines. And you've already started taking, I know you have already started taking care of the financial situation for her carers.
Right.
Yep. Okay. You're back at base and wondering what the hell to do.
Do we have a city underground plan or anything like that, or are we able to get a hold of that?
You probably could. I personally don't, but you probably could.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there's anything connecting between the two, like an access way in these two general vicinities, or
Okay, so on, it wouldn't take much for you to get the basic plans of the area. So the dotted lines, obviously,
subway.
that's the intercity rail system. Some of it is below ground, some of it is actually like a monorail.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah,
it's not a metro.
it is a metro, but it travels either underground or if it has to climb up for whatever reason, it climbs up. So it's unusual and unique in that sense. But it is the town's metro, if you like. So in the underground stuff, there is roughly every 100 feet small maintenance
Access ways.
access ways to maintenance rooms. They don't tend to be connected to anything else, so it's more like a branch-like situation where they don't go and get connected to anything else.
Okay.
It would only really be that there'd be any chance of any major connection if you're talking like up here around here where the whole sort of hub happens, is probably where there you may have some interconnectivity because of the closeness of the rail. Yeah, and it depends on which neighbourhood it's going into. If it's say like from Midtown down to what's that one, downtown, that would probably be underground, whereas downtown to Sandy Hook would be sort of above surface monorail sort of stuff going over the water. Yeah, so it's just, and like Sandy Hook to the main thing at the bottom there on the right, that's underground sort of stuff, because you can't sort of tie up the shipways. You've already got a motorway going over the water there. Yep, so parts of it are above, parts of it under. It has maintenance places every roughly 100 feet, but that's about it. No obvious connection.
Yeah. Could they give us the building addresses, or in these two locations, or not?
No.
No, they couldn't.
Well, you're just at the main station down here. Sorry, down here.
Yeah.
Go to the right thing. And Evan Mystic got the information about the street, something happening on K Street.
Oh, so there was something.
Well, the
Is this
boy
where-
indicated to her that that's where he was directed, and that's where whatever happened to him to be powered up. These guys over here,
Yeah.
yeah, these guys are, yeah, they tend to just don't show up again.
Oh, is this my homeless mate's area?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. And so where did they point me to, or did they
They just
tell
said a
me about?
guy.
Yeah. And
That's
then
where
he
he got.
didn't show up, did he?
Well, no, you didn't go back the next night. We left it before you got back to the next night, I think.
Yeah. It was in 2 days, according to my
Or
notes.
something like, yeah, 2 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well, so we may as well investigate something over here.
hmm
And what kind of buildings are in this area? Are they
So, like I said, the two light grey ones are hospitals. The one in the middle is hospital slash admin slash park slash parking spaces, all that sort of stuff. There are some in the rows along here. There are some medical services, but then once you go past that, this stuff in here is all like it becomes apartments and tenement blocks and all that sort of stuff, until you get over around here where it's sort of caters to, like, say there's might be you've got the opera house, but then you might have like I don't know, a vocal arts studio and a wardrobe, costume shop or something, and that's just in this little sort of L corner here.
cool? If
Yeah.
we bring up oh, what are they? The tenancy records or the building sold records. Is there anything around K Street that has sold recently or been leased?
Okay, give me a 2d6 roll, please.
I'm getting the minions to do it because
Yep.
Kulak's no good at this kind of stuff.
That's cool. Give me a 2d6 roll. Nope. No, you need a 5 or a 6. They can't gain any information on that.
What are you trying to do?
He's trying to see if any of the buildings on K Street in the sort of the habitable zone, not the medical zone, were recently sold, or how recently they were sold.
Or tenancy leasing agreements.
Or yeah, and yeah,
Something
they
around the time of this stuff starting.
yeah.
I will. I will. In my not superhero mode,
Yes.
do a real estate search, property search,
Okay.
the area
2d6, please.
with the yeah.
Yep. Could be one of those a 5 or a 6. No, there's
No,
not.
It's a 2 and a 4.
So no. So the really frustrating thing is that those records, there seems to be an issue at the moment at the Central Bureau of Records, that they are not able to find the records. That's
Oh,
highly odd. I mean, brain is stupid tonight. What you were trying to do, even mistake, there should be some obvious stuff there, and it's not even obvious stuff there. It's like they just don't even know. They got records of houses there, but they don't have the corresponding records of who's actually occupying those houses, or are they sold, are they rented, what's a real estate. There's no, and you would normally be able to pull some of that basic information out of their systems, and they're just returning a null result.
Is there real estate agents that deal with specific areas, or is it?
Yeah.
In which case we want to get in touch with the real estate agent that deals with that area.
So there's several different businesses that will deal with that area. So we'll go with Hyper Global Land Corp. I'm not sure what they have for Hyper Global, but anyway, that's what they're called.
Cool. And we're just inquiring as to if we're interested in getting a property around K Street, and is there any available, or has
what
anything
end?
been
Closer
recently?
to the medical end, or further away towards the river?
I just quite like that entire street. Anywhere along the stretch would actually be suitable.
Okay,
I think more residential would suit me better, but
okay, give me a 2d6 roll. So do you have, what sort of traits do you have that might influence this, if any?
I don't have any.
Okay, 2d6 roll.
That's a 5 and a 6.
Well, the guy says, it's interesting. There really hasn't been that much interest in the street, which is unusual, considering most of it's rent area, for about the last 8 months. But he can make some inquiries for you on your behalf if you can leave him some details. He gives you the median range for rent, which is all, it's obviously slightly inflated, but nothing insanely out of whack with what you'd expect. And he gives you a range of, there's like single bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom apartments, some brownstones. There are a couple of buildings that are unavailable because they're actually owned by various people that don't rent them out, they actually live in them. But apart from that, so you'd have a roundabout, once he goes through and gets back to you, there would be around about 6 properties that would be coming up for rent soon. But no buts. That's what he gives you, because that's what you asked for.
Awesome. In which case, thank you very much for that.
So there is obviously action happening, but there hasn't been happening for the last 8 months, but that doesn't excuse the records. So yeah.
Well, I'm pretty much out of ideas. If we can't get a hold of the records, we've got one hell of a street to look through.
Say that again? I lost you.
If we can't look up the records, we've got quite a bit of footwork to do. There will be a lot of properties on that, and the likelihood of catching them is slim. Unless we can take one of the kids with us.
Which should be unusual. No. They're in car. Both of them are held at the moment, awaiting their trial. Well, somebody could post bail, I suppose, but who would post bail for them?
I wonder who.
The obvious problem, is putting these young children in harm's way.
Yep. Got to remember though, one can create sort of like antimatter globes.
I was about to say balls of destruction, and the other one is basically a giant brick.
Yeah. But like you said, the idea of putting them in harm's way, and
It does not sit well with her per se, but what are you thinking?
There's one that's not a minor,
True.
and he'll make a great sparring partner.
Fine.
Okay, so you're going to apply for bail.
Actually, if I'm going to do it for both of them, if I'm going to do for one, I'm going to do for both of them.
Okay.
But I'm going to send the girl home
Right. Okay.
to be with her. She's
Okay.
not going to be involved in this. She's a kid still.
Yep. So you're going to make it a sort of a pretty generous bail to grease the wheels of justice.
Heck no. I'm going to basically call in a favor or two,
Oh.
offer my expertise, if you will, in construction. Maybe give them the cities always want to build something here or something there to gain revenue, and I will offer to purchase the land at a nominal fee and give them a share
Of any profits.
in whatever is built there. Yeah,
Cool. Okay.
a small share to the
Yep.
city.
Yep. Okay. Can you give me a roll? And you've basically given yourself a bit of advantage. So 3d6, please.
Can I focus?
I think
Yeah,
one
two fives.
of those must be it. Yep. Cool. Okay. So they agree to that. So they'll set the bail for them about 10,000 because they although yeah. So each
Okay.
10,000 bail. So you take the young man under your wing. Sit down, and I guess what are you doing with them?
Okay. So what is your idea?
Kulak. Kulak.
Kulak.
We go to where it is, call the cops, and kick in the door.
Aha.
Oh, that's subtle.
Standard Kulak.
How about we try something a little bit more finesse?
We blow them up.
What's the boy's
Take off,
name again?
take off and nuke the site from orbit.
What's the boy's name again?
The boy's name again. Sorry, I'm just making sure I've got the right one.
Juggernaut.
No. Bam.
Bam.
Himself.
Yeah,
Bam.
but no. The
Real name.
Oh no, wait a
Fenton.
minute, didn't I?
the conversation that Evan Mystic was having was to rename him as Juggernaut.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he called himself Bam, and I suggested he try for something a little bit more spectacular.
Fancy.
Okay.
Yeah,
So his real name Fenton.
Yes, I'm going to have him go in, but he's not going in alone.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know. Basically, this is to make sure there are no other kids they have in there. I don't. Yeah, Kulak wants to just drop a nuke from
Yep.
orbit. Is the best way to be certain.
Ah,
But they may
hostages.
have kids in there, and I
Yes.
really prefer not to, nuke kids.
Radio. Cool. Okay,
So,
so
let Juggernaut know he's going to have partners going in with him. He's going to vouch for them, and they will let us know.
When Mechanic know that he's been arrested.
Yeah. Basically, spy out the joint first. Case the joint. Let us
okay.
know what's what.
So what's his cover story? Because he's been caught. He's now out on bail. What's going to be his cover story?
Well, that's why I didn't do bail. That's why
right.
I did the trading of services as opposed to bail. If you got out on bail, that kind of stuff gets heard on the streets
Right.
easily.
Okay. Cool. Well, you
Basically,
made
what's
the
going to
roll, so
happen?
it happens. That's all
He's going
cool.
to get released basically because what's going to be said is he gets released because they don't have enough on him.
Yet, but yeah.
Still semi considered a minor, so
Okay.
they had to cut him loose
Right.
with
Okay.
a ticket.
Right. And so his cover story is he's loose now, and he wants what?
More power.
More power. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
He can definitely talk about that. Okay. So a
And he's
heal.
going in with he's going to go in. I think I'm going to send him in with Lucifer and Michael disguised.
As a one of your mystic sort of
Yeah.
illusions.
Yeah.
Okay, make your
Yeah.
roll. You can take a while to get this
They're not,
done.
yeah,
So,
that remember
yeah.
they're not illusions, they're real.
No, the illusion that they otherwise they're
The
shadow plays.
illusions over them. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to worry about having to roll it because you can take your time to eventually get there. Yep. So that's cool. Yep. So one will present as a young Afro-American boy around about 14. Another one will be an immigrant from, let's say, somewhere in the Middle East. Yeah. Typical down and outers, da 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 da, all that sort of stuff. No profiling needed. So they walk in. Oh, what's your because remember they only get one action, give a mystic a turn. What's their go-to action should they need to do something?
Um the go to action is protect Juggernaut.
Okay, cool. Protect him. Cool.
If things go sideways. Also we're going to shoot. What can we fit them with?
You could fit him with an earpiece.
Yeah, earpieces get spotted
Yeah.
easily. Earpieces
Okay.
get spotted. Um,
Although you're constructs, aren't you? Couldn't you just summon them with something inside their body?
No.
no, no.
They're just made of
But
shadow.
but I can cast a spell.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call a scrying spell? Is it basically a hearing spell
Okay.
and hearing and
Yeah.
seeing spell
Okay. For that,
on I'm going to put it on Juggernaut because I want to keep track of him.
okay.
So basically, it's a spell that will allow me to hear and see what he hears and he sees.
Okay. So I need you to give me a. I'll need a spell
Oh,
casting roll for that.
he's going to say no on that.
No.
Let me try. Let me try again.
Yeah, that's all cool. You can't. I just need to know what the two numbers are when you get successful. That's all for
Well, two and
setting.
four, two and
Yep.
four.
Yep. And the next one. One
That's a
and six.
success.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you got the spell established. Yeah, it's just so I can thread some drama through it. Okay, right,
That's
they're ready to take off. Where do you want to place yourselves in position?
okay. Now, where is the entrance to this place?
They are going to be on K Street, somewhere in the first block here. So remember, these ones here, most of these buildings here are still attached to the hospital, but this row here is where the residences start. So it's really
Okay.
the first block in the residence blocks.
Okay, and he's never been inside this place before, right?
No, he's this is where he was met. He walked inside a building. He had a bag or something shoved over his head. He couldn't see anything from that. Um, moved around a bit, got dizzy, woke up, and yeah, changed, but that's because some friends of him told him to meet him here.
Okay. I'm going to I'm going to be floating in the air, high up in the air, and monitor, basically giving me a wider view of the area, a more um, um,
Over.
wide-ranging view of the area, a bird's
Okay.
eye view of the
Bird's eye
area.
view.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Is
I
that going
don't
to
know
be
what.
a spell, or is that another ability you've got?
No, that's going to be spell again.
Okay.
Just my levitation spell.
Okay. Give me a roll.
Yeah, that's going to be success.
Cool. Okay.
You want the numbers? It's 2 and a 6.
Thank you. Cool. Okay, so you're set up there. What do you want to be, like 75 feet above the street level?
Yeah,
So the tenement,
high enough that
the
most kids, they say most people don't look up.
yeah,
So high enough.
yeah. So the buildings themselves would be probably 3 or 4 stories, nothing really above that.
Okay.
So you would be easily 20 to 30 feet above them. Is that sort of where you're imagining would be best
Yeah,
placed?
and since it's at night, I should be masked.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Anyone else placing themselves anywhere else?
What time of the day are we doing this?
Evening-ish.
Evening-ish. Then I'll essentially try and turn myself translucent and stay near to like one of the corners of dark alley or something like that.
Okay, so the place to that would probably be, would be this corner here. If you can see where I'm
Cool.
pointing. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you've got the option of this one here, but he's starting from this end, going down
Yeah.
that way.
Then I'll follow it. I'll just stop at the
Corner.
end of the street. Yep. And
Okay.
duck
Yep.
off to one side and as I be translucent.
By any chance, do homeless hang out in this park?
Sometimes.
Sweet, that's where I am.
Out of disguise is what he's obviously hinting at.
No, in disguise. I'm as a homeless man.
Yeah, I mean as an out of your super suit.
Yep.
Okay.
Except I'm wearing that underneath all the rags, and I've got a mask in my pocket that I can just jam on
Sweet.
as I strip and sprint down the street, and I'll
Okay.
bring some of
Oh,
my
that's
brothers
right.
some food.
Super speed. You got super speed. You can get there super quick. Keep on
Yep.
forgetting that.
Yep. Shit's going down. I'm there.
Yeah.
There's a pile of clothes where I was.
Right. Or gently falling onto the ground. Okay, so you're just moving amongst the homeless men in the park, or people. Yeah. Okay, so Fenton, or aka Juggernaut, comes through, goes down the road, stops at a set of stairs leading up into a brownstone. Walks up, goes through the door with his 2 friends. You hear him, even Mystic, saying to somebody, "Yeah, I've got these boys. They want the same sort of juice I got." There's some talking. You can't quite make it. It's muffled. They're told though to go away for an hour and come back when things might be arranged. So they sort of wander off endless, mindlessly sort of waiting around. So they're just doing that, and they turn up back again. So this time, Fenton's asked, is he wanting to accompany them, or is he? He says, "No, I want to come too." So they say, "Well, you know the story." So they get some sacks, and Fenton's trying to describe this. "You're putting the sack on my head, man. Why are you putting the sack on our heads?" Gotta keep it all safe and secure. Then they start moving. Fenton's asking questions. He's told to just shut up now. And then things are quiet, and you have no idea what the hell's happening, but they're moving somewhere.
Okay,
Can you
so
give me all three of you, because I'm assuming you're all tied into the... Oh no, they're not, because it's magic, isn't it? So it'd just be
Yep.
Dark Mage, Evan Mystic. Evan Mystic, can you give me a 2d6 roll, please? Do you have... What stats do you have? What traits do you have? Not power traits, but traits.
My traits are being rich and casting spells.
Okay, cool. Okay,
And
great.
being charismatic.
Charismatic. Okay, unfortunately that doesn't help you in this one, but so
None of those
2d6.
going to help.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, 2d6.
A 4 and a 3.
Okay, you're not hearing anything that makes any sense to you at the moment, but a couple minutes go by, you can try again.
A
Okay.
5 and a 3.
Yep. So you hear something, and it sounds vaguely. So you know what a dumbwaiter is.
Yeah.
It sounds oddly enough something like that.
Manual like elevator heading down underground.
Something like.
Or a handcart.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's all you can sort of pick up at the moment. What are you guys wanting to do? Anything? Well,
need
Evan
to
Mystic,
relate to
sorry.
us first.
Yeah.
Okay, what I was able to hear before the dumbwaiter, what it sounded like, or give me a general idea of what it may have sounded like?
No, you heard some sort of noise. You're just not sure what the hell it was. It wasn't a voice. It was something else, and it was quite soft and sort of, I guess the word would be fuzzy, would be the word.
Mm,
Blurry, if you like.
gotcha.
It was hard to sort of make out exactly what it was, but there's some sort of noise.
Uh, Abyss.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Where are you at the moment?
I'm on one of the corners.
Corner of Walnut and K.
Wait a minute, we lost our water person? I thought we...
No, she's there. She's at Walnut and K.
That is Abyss. Okay.
Yeah.
Abyss, I need you to head to the sewers. See if you can trace any underground passages underneath that building.
Okie doke.
Okay, slip over to a manhole. Easily lift it up. Go under. Okay, give me a 2d6. Oh, sorry. What? Are you all powers, or do you have some traits?
I'm all powers.
Okay. Do you have any detection or sensory powers?
No.
Okay.
But I do have super speed, so at least I can do this really quick.
Yep.
And a 5 and a 6.
You do in fact find some. Yep. You find a tunnel that leads in underneath the buildings. It's not like a services there, wastewater or anything. It's a service tunnel that goes under the building.
Okay.
And it does end in a brick wall.
Okay. I'll relay that to the team.
You place yourself roughly 20, 25, 30 feet in under the building.
Yep.
The building itself would be around about 60 feet, so you're almost halfway.
Yeah, if I put my ear up against it, does it sound like it's hollow? Can I hear things coming from the other side?
2d6 roll.
There's a 6.
It kind of does. You can hear something on the other side. It's not distinguishable though, but something's happening on the other side.
Right.
Looking at the wall, you can find a small, what possibly could be a hole if you work at it real quick with your water powers.
Yep. Okay. Attempt to sort
Give
of.
me a 2d6 roll for just the attack. Yep. Okay, you managed to get a hole that you can easily move through.
Okay. So I'll again, hopefully still translucent, slither my way through.
Okay, you come on the other side. You're in a darker area, and there's lots of stuff boxes, crates, tubes, bits and pieces all around you. Over it, you can see
Any branding on the boxes?
um some red crosses,
Okay.
some cacadeus, yeah. You can see it sort of as a large sort of room that seems to go on quite a bit. You're guesstimating somewhere 80, 90, 100 feet or something like that. Sort of towards 2/3 away from you. There's a lot of gear in between you and the main area. But there's a lot of gear there. There's some tables, there's some scientific equipment that you have no idea what it is about, but you've sort of seen something vaguely familiar back at your headquarters. Going about halfway across, there seems to be some sort of podium. There's somebody standing up on it. There's some people walking around. They seem to be in some sort of white suits of some sort with like hoods on, or like white helmet or hood things, but they're full face sort of right over sort of thing. There's some
The old
odd
hazmat suit.
something like there's some odd really purplish greenish sort of light that flickers further away. Yeah, you can hear someone saying something very muffled, but the others are just sort of nodding and sort of thing, so they must have perhaps something underneath the helmet that they can talk through. And you can just make out some people that seem to be on some sort of weird vertical bed, if you like, almost like crucified sort of position. And you're sort of seeing the after effects of just them being covered in this purplish greenish light, and it's sort of dimming down. You're not sure what the hell's happened there. And as it sort of fades, there's about 3 people there. As it fades, none of them are anyone you know. There's 2 boys and a girl. As it fades, the guy on the podium takes his helmet off. You can't see who it is because him or her has got their back to you. But you do hear them say, now that they're up there, okay, release the manacles and okay, help them down. Okay, one moment please. And some buttons go up, and then you sort of see sort of like an energy field go up in front between him and them and over the top, almost like it's possibly a force field. And then he just says, so try something. Do something. So one of the boys picks up a piece of lead pipe and is like trying to bend it, like he can't bend it at all. But as he's doing it, and he's really straining, suddenly around his hands it starts to foam, and the lead pipes sort of fall into 3 pieces. So the guy sort of starts listening off to one of his persons. So I believe he's developed some sort of acid-like touch. Okay, and basically that guy has taken, he's only young, he's only about 15, 16, still contained in this force field. So turn to the other young guy, and he's trying to bend something else, or make a punch something, but he's hurting himself. And then you see the girl, suddenly she flares up into a sort of a bright bluey white colour. Her whole body just transforms into this bluey white, like flame. No flaming coming off her, but like the surface of the sun, you get that sort of flame moving across the surface of her body. Yep. So she's picking things up and she seems to be melting them, but he says, thermogenic power. Right. He says, see if you can generate enough heat to lift yourself from the ground. So she does this. There's a monstrous explosion. Her entire square of the force field just fills up with a whole lot of energy. One of the guy yells out quite remarkably. He calls out something and goes, amazing energy output. And he's more or less treating these people like lab rats. And the whole shade and stuff still is dying down, so it doesn't just go away straight away. The young kid in the middle he's trying furiously, like, first of all he sort of shades his eyes from the bright light, then he tries furiously to do something, he jumps up and down, he tries to bend, he tries to punch, he's doing all sorts of things, and then he sort of, you can see him snort, and then his body starts to convulse a bit, and it starts to get these expanded growths and uncontrollable nothings in proportion, and within a couple of minutes, he's just this writhing mass of flesh and just pulsating. It doesn't look pretty, and the guy says, pity, oh well. Touches something on something in front of him, and there's a couple of white, and he just disintegrated.
Okay, time to.
That didn't work.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a kid dead, or was that like an adult kid?
He looked like either a very young adult or a kid, an older kid,
Right.
Then you sort of hear some noise, and you can see Juggernaut being led down with the two others moving slowly.
By the way, I'm keeping the comm line open so that
Yep.
obviously they can hear everything.
Mm-hmm.
I note if I can, I'll back off some and whisper exactly the directions that I took to find the place underground. So that they might start chasing me.
Yep. I mean, the thing is that they'd have to get through the wall. You managed to get through like a 10-cent piece hole in the wall. They will have a slightly different way of having to deal with it.
Yeah.
I imagine it's probably going to be a Kulak surprise motherfuckers sort of.
It could be. I mean, he has super speed. If he wants to try to do certain
And
things,
super
that's
strength.
fine. But if he wants to rely on brute strength, yeah. So anyway, so there's some talking. There's a couple of the others just get to sit down with the hoods on their head. In another area, they have these sort of headsets that go over their ears and their head, and they're just sort of, and obviously not hearing what's happening or seeing what's happening. Some more tests happen. Eventually that thing fades. The girl, she's there, but her body looks really emaciated.
So basically, her body is consuming energy at an accelerated rate for her to do it. Neat.
Yeah, so it doesn't look terribly good, but the guy is, again, just watching the process and just recording it and just talking probably to someone who knows to take down the record, what he's telling them. Blah, 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 blah. There's a whole lot of fancy words you don't understand, none of you will understand. Every now and then you get like a basic biological sort of term that you might understand. And then she starts to cry out, and then she starts to scream and starts to scratch at the force field that's not happening. Then she starts to blast, and that even accelerates the whole problem until she just collapses on the floor, and basically the flame eventually, after about 5-10 minutes, I don't know if these guys are using that time to get into any other position, you'll see this emaciated female lying on the ground, and you'll notice a heart monitor just goes bzzz. Yes. Oh, so much promise. Oh well. It pushes another thing and poof, she's gone.
God damn it! You need to get in here.
Okay. We're not gonna let them kill any more kids.
Yep.
Well, yeah, like I'm starting to look around now for a possible way to either set a fire system off.
Doesn't seem to be one. There are several fire extinguishers, but no like overhead fire system or anything like that. This place looks like it's been built, but it's not been. It's probably not up to
Updated.
code. It's not up to code by any measure.
Yeah.
Half of it looks like it could have been a basement, and the other half looks like it could have been excavated and changed into the rest of the chamber.
Right.
Give me another 2d6 roll, please, while you're waiting for your team to get in there.
So it's party time.
I don't know.
No,
Okay.
no 5s or
Okay.
6s.
Yep. So what do you folks want to do?
Cool. What's the best way in?
Well, Abyss has told you how she got in. Under the manhole cover, follow this, you get to a brick wall. She made a hole to ooze through. You guys might have other ways to get through, unless you have to.
How thick is the wall?
It appears that it would be like the thickness of a brick.
Oh, okay, so I could. Well, my idea of super strength is I could walk through that.
Probably.
Cool.
You have
In which case, I'll head
invulnerability
down
or
that way.
something?
Yep. I'll head straight down the sewers and notify the guys back at base that we want police and possibly, well, we definitely want SWAT here, or whatever the equivalent is.
Right. What are you doing, Ever Mystic?
You gave us a location, right?
Yep. Kulak said he's moving on the location.
Okay.
Also,
I'm going to send out a message to the authorities.
Yep.
Inform them of where the location is of this operation,
Mhm.
but also tell them to come in quietly
Mhm.
and await our signals. No, no sirens, no nothing like that. Just get in place.
Mhm. Okay.
After that, I want to send a message to Michael. He needs to tell me how many kids are in there and what their condition is.
There is a sack over my head.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
the sack is still over his head?
They're basically being blinded and deafened. They really don't know what's happening.
Okay, well, what can I? Okay, I can still hear from the
I'm
spell
Oh
I
yeah,
cast on Juggernaut.
I'm relaying back what I can
the visuals.
see. Yeah.
These guys
Oh,
are,
okay.
yeah, and Michael, sorry, not Michael Fenton, Juggernaut. Um, he's not. You can tell he's not actually hearing um, anything. Oh, sorry. What you would be hearing is a lot of music from him. If you're experiencing what he's hearing, you'd be serious. They just put bloody earphones on the kids and played some sort of
Got you.
ratchet music.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay. Shoot.
Can you give me a 2d6, please?
What's the fastest way in, Adobe?
She would have said the.
I keep
Okay.
rolling the same
Yep.
thing, 5 and a 2.
That's okay. So, as you're trying to find a way in, the fastest way in will probably be through the manhole cover and all that.
If I see them try and do something to Fenton, then I'm going to basically commence an action. Basically,
Mhm.
try and find an electric or electronics control panel, and yeah, I'm going to get that wet.
So there's something interesting about the music. You're not quite sure what it is, Ever Mystic.
It's hypnotizing.
Does it have a psychological or emotional thing to it? Like white noise or a
You're detecting,
hypnotic aspect?
something. They've added some sort of sub noise
Liminals?
to it, subliminal, sub deep noise, which probably has a sort of a trance sort of inducing effect, is what you're guessing.
Okay. Using some kind of noise to keep him sated.
Yep.
They're about to do. Um, I give a order to both Lucifer and Michael.
Mhm.
They have they are to get close to stay close to Juggernaut, and if they feel him being taken away,
If they hear him or feel him being taken away, what? Sorry.
that's when they intervene.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Cool.
He is their he is their main concern.
Okay, cool. As you're watching Abyss, so Kulak, you'd arrive there pretty quickly. Are you starting to descend Ebon Mystic to go through the sewers,
Yeah,
or you? Yep.
yeah.
Okay, so you see Kulak zoom past, boom, and he disappears under the manhole. He's quick. You get to the wall. You know Abyss is on the other side of the wall. Um, so what are you guys doing?
Okay. So, what was I? I'm gonna start looking around for an electrical conduit or something like that. Something that if I could get it wet, it might cause sparks, smoke, fire.
You're probably up by the podium, all that sort of stuff seems to be more centered there, and there are
Yep.
quite a lot of leads and plugs of really odd shapes and sizes plugged into whatever the platform is the podium stands on.
Yep.
That seems to be, you're not sure whether it's a
Uh-huh.
transformer or a power source or a bunch of
Yep.
computers or something. Is something there.
Okay. Well, I'll do my best to slink my ass around to it and.
Okay, so I need to roll to see if anyone notices you.
Mhm.
Oh, they do.
Oh well.
And you hear a yell go up, and we'll be going into initiative. So I'm going to say, Ebon Mystic, you're halfway down towards where you need to be when your initiative roll comes in, and the others, well, I don't know, Kulak, you might or might not be there. Um, so everyone just roll their initiative.
Stella.
2, 10, and Kulak,
Sorry.
that's right, 2, 6, 6, and the other side 8. Okay, right, Ebon Mystic, you know something's been put into place, something's started to change, so you know those other two will be doing whatever they have to do.
Okay.
Your two ancient people, beings. What is it you want to do on a 10?
How far? Mm,
How far? You could probably get
how far away?
you could
Yeah.
probably get to Kulak and have one action on this side of the wall. So is there anything you want to do? What was that for, sorry?
We are not hearing a single thing.
Yeah, if you're saying something, sorry, we're not hearing you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my headphones did something really funny there.
Okay.
Like I said, Kulik can handle himself for the most part.
Yep.
I need to get in there. Just the kids are most important.
Right.
So I'm focusing and I am casting invisibility on myself.
Okay. So focusing means it's a 4, 5, 6.
I got a 4 and a 2.
Cool. So you are now invisible. Um, so,
Tell me. That's
boom,
all.
you've done that. So that's cool. Kulak. No, not Kulak. Yeah, it's they do their actions. Some of the guys just throw some stuff at you. Some of them, one of them's got some sort of weapon that'll fire at you. So the stuff that's thrown at you will probably not do anything, but I'll just make the rolls. several other people sort of come out of the woodwork, so to speak. So I'm just going to roll for 2 different groups. So the first one misses, and the second one hits, doing 1 point of damage. Does that do anything to you?
Who's that, me?
Ibis, yeah.
Yeah, it'll do 1 point of damage.
Okay. Right, the individual person, he shoots at you with this odd weapon, whatever the hell it is, and manages to miss. The guy turns around partially. You can sort of see a silhouette. You can't see the actual detail of his face, and he's sort of moving for cover. He's pushed something. You don't know what the hell that was, and he's moving for cover. It looks
Cool.
like he's moving over the front of it and away. So sort of off to the right. You're sort of on the back to the left at the moment, and you've got some of these other cronies sort of around you.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're on the 6th Kulak. I guess this is where you make your big, huge entrance moment.
Grand entrance.
Make sure my mask is on properly. Right.
Yes.
Focus.
Mm-hmm.
Burst through the wall.
Okay, where you go. Yep. Boof. I'm not going to ask.
Kulak's here!
Kulak's here. Rock and, well, brick and mortar goes spraying all over the place. Doesn't hit anyone. But you make your entrance. And can't say the same, unfortunately, for Ever Mystic because she's invisible. But that's all fine. That's exactly where she wants to be. We'll go to the next round of initiatives, guys.
No, me on it too.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Right at the end. Okay, so would I be able to make it over to where the Juggernaut is at the moment?
No, he's a bit too far.
Okay,
You
at which
can
point
still make it to that podium
Can I make
place.
I was about to say, can I do a cold shot to try and knock the headphones that he's got on off?
You can try that, yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah, I
say
will.
disadvantage.
I will focus and
Cool
take
shot.
a
So
shot.
2d6. Well, it would be.
It would normally be 3d6 for me to do an attack.
So
then-
disadvantage gives you 1d6, but it's a 4, 5, or 6 that will
Okay.
work. It's a 50-50 chance, which is not bad.
Nah, fuck
Not
off.
this time. Okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely erring on the side of caution. Shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is good. Okay, initiative, guys, for the next round. 7 for the
I
baddies.
can't. I'm sorry. Something's wrong with my computer.
Did you want me to roll for you?
Yeah.
Okay. You have got a 4, unfortunately. Okay. Andy's got a 6. Kulak.
The
Feel like-
dashboard. What the hell's going on here?
Don't know. So
Kulak?
yep. So you're all in. So what you can see is Fenton and his 2 friends are just sitting on the chair. You can see the other kid encased in some sort of energy cage. There's 2 other right next to him, 2 other empty energy sort of cages. That's the Kulak and Ebba Mystic. Ibis knows exactly what's happened and described it. Big room. There's sort of 2 groups of mooks, if you like. The other guy, you'll see, is making his way across the room. You won't. Yeah, I don't.
Super speed.
Super
I punched
speed,
the egghead.
possibly. You try to. Okay.
Yep. I want to take out the egghead.
Okay. Where you go? So 2d6.
And if I can, I'll try and block the doorway. Or get between
You
him
won't be able to
and the doorway.
move. Like you can't. I don't think you can move, attack, and move. So just move and attack.
Wow.
Yeah, but so you managed to move up to him, attack him,
Nice.
and gave him a really lovely fan of air.
Yeah.
That's okay. So we go down to them.
Hi, are you the mechanic?
He moves past you really quickly, so I'm gonna get you to roll at some stage to see if you can remember his face. He moves past you. The door basically opens and closes, and you don't know if he's moved any further than that. And it would appear to be some sort of mechanical door, not a hinge door, like a whoosh whoosh door sort of thing, but made of metal, is all you can tell at the moment. And that's where you become aware of a slightly whining sound. It's low, but it seems to be building up to a higher pitch. Not sure what the hell it is. Abyss,
Mm-hmm.
you're aware of the sound as well. You've also got the two groups of mooks.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy
Like I
with the
say,
gun.
yeah.
And and that gun, it
Yep.
looks like it can do some serious damage.
Yeah. Do I still want to try and get out the kid though? No. I'll change target. I will throw my focus at moving towards the podium
Mm-hmm.
and throwing a water bomb at the guy with the gun.
Okay.
That is a hit.
Alright. And I think you do 3 points of damage.
I do 3 points of damage.
So he goes, the gun goes flying in the air, he goes sprawling back, whacking into the podium, knocking himself out.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Ever Mystic. Not back yet.
Yeah, that was her disconnecting just before.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. We'll give her another little time and then we'll try to move on. Just need to open up Discord to see if she's back in there. No. Okay. Don't even think she's on. No, she's not even recognised as being online in Discord. Might have had a complete computer meltdown. We'll carry on. So I think the most logical thing that Ever Mystic would do would be to try to use her magic to release the boy. To move into
Probably.
a position where she can try to use her magic to down the field or something. So do one of you guys want to roll for her? 2d6?
Sure. 2d6.
She can't focus because she's got to move.
Not
wouldn't
that.
have helped. Okay, no, but that's pretty much what she's doing, and because she's not attacking anyone, she doesn't have to become invisible just yet. Yeah. Okay. Next round of initiative, folks. Bad guys. 10.
So close.
And even Mystic 9. Okay. Bad guys. Okay, the other group of bad guys are going to start trying to attack or throw things at Kulak, who they can see.
Cool.
Miss you completely. The other guy's knocked out. The other guy, you have no idea what he's doing, which takes us down to Abyss and Ever Mystic. So Ever Mystic again. So
Ebon Mystic first, rolling to remove the headphones. There's a 5 in there.
no, she's trying to get the kid out of the energy cage.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The one that's trapped. I think you have the 5 in there.
So and she manages to short circuit or something, and it just falls away.
Exactly what that guy pushed on his console when I finally get there.
Okay, there's a row of lights and running left to right, and on the right side there seems to be one that's already out and another one's just blinking softly, and then it stops and moves down to the next one. There's about 7 of these left illuminated.
Okay. What do I do? I will endeavour to do. So there's just a bunch of plebes running around, is there?
Just mooks.
Yeah, I'll endeavour to once again release
Fenton.
Fenton. So I'm looking for a
Okay.
5 or a 6. Yeah, that ain't gonna help.
Damn. Oh, well, you moved over to him now, so you don't have disadvantage.
Oh,
So you've got 1 more dice to roll.
yeah, 6.
There you go. Boom. Headphones come off.
Yep.
Rightio. So that's all
Take the hood.
happening.
Yeah.
Yep.
Headphones off. Try and rip the hood off at the same time if I have to, or can.
Yep. Kulak, what are you up to?
Do we know the door, right? And the door
Sorry?
was sort of-
He's gone. The door's closed. You don't know what's happening.
yeah,
at
but
that
was the
section.
door a big steel?
It's just a slightly bigger than normal door, about 3.5 feet wide by around about 6 feet tall, and just a sliding door on the walls, but metal. On the side of it you can see sort of a pad that you might need to touch to either open or close. It sort of looks like one of those touch light pad things that turns your lights on and off.
Cool. The door slid, did you say?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm not going to hit the door. If the door slides to the left, where the gap where the door goes into the wall, that's
Yep.
where I want to run through.
Okay, there is no gap, but I can understand what you mean. Yep.
Yeah, because the wall should be thinner there, is
Yep.
my idea. And I'll
Yep.
focus and charge through the wall.
Okay. Make your roll. Okay.
5 and a 5.
Kulak makes another another hole.
Hey, buddy, where are you going?
No. Kulak, you suddenly realise, oh shit. You're sort of standing in a very small chamber is all I can say. About 4 feet by 4 feet. You sort of look around and you
Look
can
up
see in
into
the
the elevator.
darkness, you can see something moving, receding away into the darkness.
Above me or
Yeah,
below me?
above you.
Tiger uppercut.
Is there a rope or is there... Well,
No.
that's my
Nothing.
turn anyway.
Yeah, but no, nothing.
Cool.
Was that? I think that was everyone.
Yep.
And, yeah.
Okay. Can Lincoln? Can you roll for Fenton to come to, please? 2d6. Nope, not this round.
Hey guys,
Hey,
I'm sort of back. I'm not exactly back.
that's so cool.
I don't know what happened. My computer just decided to restart on its own.
That's so cool. Probably took up set updates.
And,
What happened was we got your character. We thought probably you'd go over and try to get the kid that's entrapped in the energy cage out, which you did on the second attempt.
okay. good.
Abyss has managed to blow the earphones off Fenton, but he still hasn't come round. Kulak chased the guy. The guy got through the door. Kulak's basically put a hole through the door in the wall, but is now standing watching whatever the conveyance that went up is taking the guy away from him. So that's sort of pretty much where we left it, so we're just going into the next round of initiative. So,
Okay.
yep, so we'll just, if you want to come into roll 20. So they're on a 4. Remember you've got 3 mooks who are hanging around just throwing things at you. Oh, and you haven't become visible yet because you didn't actually attack anyone, you just lowered the force field around the boy.
Okay.
So Kulak and Abyss, if you want to roll for initiative, and I'll roll again for Evan
Are you
Mystic.
still gonna have to roll for me?
Yep.
I'm not in.
That's so cool. This time, oh, 4. Okay, so it's Kulak, oh no, 5. Kulak, Evan Mystic, Abyss, and the bad guys. Kulak, you're up. Oh, sorry. Fenton. He's 3, he's right at the end.
Cool.
Oh, sorry, the other thing is that Abyss has found something on the podium with a bunch of flashing lights which seems to be getting shorter.
It's a countdown.
And you've got about 7 of those lights left, illuminated. So, Kulak.
Is there a ladder or anything? Or
No.
Cool. I get on the comms, there's a bad guy coming up. Please inform the police. Then I grab 2 chunks of whatever's left of the wall and throw them at the elevator.
Okay. Yep. Make your hit roll.
1 and 3,
No.
6 and 4.
Okay. So
Yeah,
what
it's
you
4,
get there is
3.
you do actually hit it. It does damage it for a point.
I'm trying to jam the elevator in place.
Yep. It's definitely made it wobble and all that sort of stuff, but you don't know whether it's pretty high up. So you're not sure whether you've jiggled him about or whether it's just where it was. I'm not sure. I think we go down to Who was next? Sorry.
Eben mistake.
Evan Mystic, you're up next.
I still can't see. Roll 20 still loading, but if I understand correctly, I saved somebody in a cage, right?
Yep, you lowered the force field that was trapping that boy who had the acid touch.
Okay, good.
He doesn't know you're there though. No one does.
All right. Is there any other children in here? Any other kids? What?
Fenton is still sitting a bit blank-faced in the chair, and your two cohorts are sitting next to him, but they've got hoods on and earphones on.
Yeah. I instruct them to take their hoods off so they can operate,
Okay.
so it can function.
Yep.
And now, what was this about? A timer?
They're
On the
in the
podium.
middle of the room. There's a podium on a big pile of machinery that's got a whole lot of plugs and leads going into it. And Abyss has found it, and it's now going blink, 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 and at the end of this turn, the light will go off, and there'll be 6 lights left.
Okay.
And the 3 of you have heard a low sound which is starting to sort of ramp up a little bit to getting higher pitch. Not sure where it's coming from.
Okay. Let's see. Roll 20 still giving me issues. Let's see. Since there are no other kids here that need protecting.
Just that one chemical, well, that one acid kid who's just standing there doing nothing, just looking a bit like slack-jawed, not sure what to do.
Run, dumbass!
Run, dumbass. I am going to. Let's see. I need to deal with that timer thing.
Yep.
What can I do? I want to cast the spell of knowledge.
Yep.
And I want to touch that machine and find out its function.
Okay. Let's see what you can do. You're in now, so you make the roll.
I'll focus on this one. So first round is to focus, and the next round is to cast a spell, and it fails.
Okay, that's okay. At least you tried. So we are back down to, is it Abyss?
Yep.
And then them, and then our young friend gets another saving throw to come to.
Right, so I'm going to use one of my action to give Fenton the proverbial wet slap.
Right.
In the hopes to wake him up.
I'm going to make that he's got advantage, so he'll get 3d6.
Cool. Then I'm going to use my actual water attack. Because I have no idea how. Does anybody in our group that I've seen know anything about these weird computer panel-y things? No?
Not really.
We've only got communicators, not visual communications back to base, don't we?
Just verbal, yeah.
Keep coming, nobody dies. No. Let's do the dumbest thing imaginable. Let's just try and disable the podium by just absolutely obliterating it with the wet stuff.
Okay.
There's a 5 in there, so that's 3 points of damage to the podium.
3 points of damage. It doesn't destroy it. There's the odd bit that sparks and some sort of lights sort of blink on and off, but that progressive lights thing is just maintaining its rhythm, doing its thing. Don't think you've really affected too much. You gave it a pretty damn good hit.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so the idiots, instead of trying to get the hell out of there, keep on throwing things at you and Kulak. They're missing quite nicely. And our young man, Fenton's next. Andy finally comes to, sort of shakes his head and says, "What the hell's happening? sort of gets up out of his chair. The other two sort of stand up protective of him.
Yep.
And he sort of can see you, sort of, and he can see Kulak and says, "What are we doing?"
I point towards the exit, and as best I can yell at him to get the hell out.
Okay, give me a second. I need to do something else there. Okay, cool. Okay, so he is not a stupid boy, so he immediately starts with his two buddies beside him, moving for the exit, i.e. the hole in the wall. And that's, I think, where we end initiative.
That's where
around
we end
again.
that round.
Okay, bad guys. 5. Oh no, 6. Abyss is on 5. Eben, Mystic, and Kulak. 7. It's very tight, this one. And Eben, Mystic.
Okay, yeah, I can roll now.
Yep. Just waiting for your 2d6.
Yeah, I'm having
9. Wow. Okay, you're up first. You go first. You,
Hey,
then
I am
Kulak.
I am again going to attempt to understand
Cool.
what this machine
Okay.
is.
Make your roll. Yep. When you're ready.
Second, things keep popping up on me here.
Okay. No, that's alright.
Okay, close. Go.
R5. Okay. Information you get. It's science, so science and magic don't always match very well. But the basic idea, the one thing that you can get that you know is that this machine somehow taps into an otherworld energy, and it uses that in some way. So it's not a totally pure science device. It's tapping into some other world energy, and you're not quite sure what the hell it is, but it's, you know, it's not native to this plane of existence, and that's about all you'll know. And then it must use
Native to this.
not native
Okay,
to
it's
this.
not.
Yeah, not native to this universe. That'll be pretty much an innate bit of information you'll have. Okay, so we go to, I think,
Okay.
Kulak.
Kulak. Cool. I go upstairs and wait for him at the other end of the elevator.
What, you mean you climb through the...
No, I run round up onto the street, through the sewer entrance, and through the front of the building.
Not, yep, so the front door, but you don't know which room or build or house in the building, do you yet? So that's okay. You go through the front door, boom, you're there. No one's there. No one's in the hallway.
Cool. I start looking around for the elevator, because I know roughly where our guys went in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. They would probably be somewhere on the ground floor, is your best guess. And there are 3 different houses, apartments, whatever you want to call them, coming off this ground floor. There's a set of stairs leading up. There's actually no evidence of an elevator anywhere on this floor in the corridor.
Cool. I search around and start opening doors if there's any doors.
Okay, so give me a roll for your first one. First one is empty.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, if I can.
Right. Alright. Then I think we go down to them. Oh, sorry. 5. So our young man is on a 5. Fenton. So okay, so they're chucking things at the 3 of you randomly, the idiots. Just trying to create issues for you. They do actually hit, doing a point on Fenton and a point on Abyss.
Cool.
That kid is still not oh, and another light's gone out, by the way, leaving 5. That kid's still standing where he was, not really sure what to do. 5. Fenton
5?
and... Yep, and Abyss.
Yep. I'm going to grab hold of Acid Kid and start moving towards the exit.
Okay. I'm going to say you have advantage, and because he's so paralysed with stuff, I'm going to treat it also as focused, where you go to attack him, to hold on to him.
Do you want me to make an attack roll?
Make the roll, yeah. Because if you fail, he's going to put up some sort of struggle. No, you're fine. Okay, you grab him and you start moving him out towards where Fenton's heading.
Yep.
So you guys are basically getting out of there, which only leaves the 3 mooks who are now suddenly realising, oh shit, this is not a good place to be. So they start following you. Which only leaves Evan Mystic in the room trying to connect with the device. So Evan Mystic, you can see as you're doing that, we'll have to go into the next round, that there are now only 5 lights illuminated. That pitch is getting higher. It's not getting louder, it's just getting higher. So, next round of initiatives, please, everyone. So the mooks are on a 5, our young Mr. Fenton's on a 10. We've missed it on 7, Abyss. Okay, so Fenton actually remembers something, and he actually helps the 3 mooks by tossing them up. He forgets for the first guy to move the man cover, so he gets tossed up with his super strength into the manhole cover, which opens it for the other 2 who get tossed up. A bit rough around things, and of course you've got the police out there waiting for them.
Yep.
So they'll be taken into custody, but that's all he can do at the moment. Which then leads us down to Evan Mystic, I believe. You're up next.
Okay. I know it's other dimensional.
Yes.
But I don't know what it does.
Not
Get
yet.
enough information.
You've still got Bob.
Did you make mention of that over the communicator?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes.
So you're telling me this fucking elevator goes to a different dimension?
Good. But if I hear anything about it being dimensional in relation to that stupid panel, could she use her magic to disconnect it from that other dimension?
She may do.
That's my next.
Because that's being that I'm an extra dimensional being, that would be one way of possibly nullifying it.
This is my next choice, and make sure you get all of the children, and especially Juggernaut, out of here.
Well, basically, Juggernaut's already gotten the mooks out. I've got the Acid Kid, and I'm making my way out now.
Okay, so
perfect. Mooks. Yep. I go grab one. Show me where the elevator is.
The mooks are being handcuffed by the police right now. Cool. And you don't get to go on a 5, sorry. So Evan Mystic, back to you. What are you wishing to do?
I'm going to try. I'm going to try and basically weave a counter signal to the machine, basically disturbing its connection to wherever it is connected to.
Okay.
And hopefully shutting down this what she believes is probably a self-destruct order.
Okay, where you go.
And obviously, I'm going to focus on this.
Yep, totally get it. Yeah.
I got a 3 and a 6.
3 and 6. Okay, so you can start. It doesn't happen all at once, but you can actually start feeling the energy flow, so to speak, start to ebb and start to slow down. At the same time, that noise drops discernibly to a slightly lower tone.
I like slightly lower.
Yeah. So, and okay, Abyss.
Yep. So you're getting the me and the kid
Mm-hmm.
drag him out of the sewer entrance,
Yep.
and then start. I don't know whether or not we've got I don't think she mentioned it over the communicators yet that we're managing to drop it, but I'll mention to everyone to start standing back because there's some kind of device down there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. So that's
and
starting. Yep.
lastly, if I can, I'm a high five Juggernaut
Rightio.
for a job well done.
Okay, he sort of accepts it. He's not sure. He's not terribly comfortable with this because it's the sort of first sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
But
damn, you've got moist hands.
yeah. And then okay, Lincoln Kulak. Now he can come out and try to talk to the Mook if he
Yep.
wants to. Yep.
Hi, Alphas. I need to borrow one of those mooks. He needs to tell me where the elevator is.
Okay. The guy just sees you quickly move through. He's already seen what you can do, so he's not going to be stupid. He just says, 2B.
I'm taking him with me. You guys want to follow, possibly?
Wow. The police don't really want to let him go. Especially when you've said that your friend has just said that there's some sort of device underneath the building. We don't want to endanger the prisoner. And the guy says, it's 2B is where we've...
I better not have to come back out here. Cool. Now I go into 2B.
Okay, right, the door's locked. So that's as much as you can do at the moment. Because do you get three things a turn?
If I pick up something, yes. I've yet to pick up something.
Oh, okay.
The mook counted, but I no longer have the mook, so...
Yeah, okay. Rightio. And I think that's where we finish that round. And another light goes out, leaving 4. Okay, initiative. Ooh, the bad guys get a 9. Someone who's a bad guy's out there. Okay, Rodeo, Abyss, you get to go first if you're doing anything.
No, I'm now basically monitoring the outside, trying to get everyone slightly shooed away from the area.
Okay, Juggernaut still is, both sides of him has his 2 little compatriots, just so you know, Abyss, Evan Mystic. They're still there protecting him. He's standing there, just wondering what the hell's going to go on. That kid is sort of looking a little bit panicky. There's a lot of
yeah, well, like I say, I'm going to
cops
keep my
poking
thing on.
guns at him.
Yeah. At which point I'll superimpose myself in front of that and sort of say we need to back off first.
They keep their they put their guns in the holster, but they keep their hands on their guns.
Yeah,
they'll do that much. Yeah. But he's sort of holding his hands up, and you can start seeing that similar sort of foamy stuff sort of is coming in out of his hands.
Yeah, I'll try and calm him down.
Okay, give me a 2d6. Unless you don't have a trait or a superpower.
No, I don't.
Okay,
yep.
2d6.
Nah.
Not this round. So something may or may not happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's you on a 9. The bad people do their thing on a 9, whatever that is. Kulak, you're on a 6.
Cool. I go through the door and take it with me. Sorry,
okay.
I focus and go through the door. And I want to carry it with me.
Okay. Yep, you go through the door. Just walking through these things. Smash. Yep, you're in the room. What you can see is that there's a big part of a wall that's been sort of exposed, and there's a door and what looks like a little small sort of closet which you take to be possibly the elevator, but it's empty, and there doesn't seem to be anybody in this room. There is one other door leading out of this room, heading towards
Wait.
the back of the building.
The door to the closet is
Open.
open or closed?
Open.
Open, and it's empty.
Yeah.
Cool. And because the elevator would have reached here already, I'll follow out the back door.
Okay, you move quickly up. You find a little small dining room kitchen. And it just seems to end there. It's really weird. There is a set of stairs between the, like, in the dining room area that seems to go up to the next level, but that's about the only thing.
Guess I'll check the second floor.
Okay, so you're starting up the stairway. That's all cool. Okay, and we'll have to then transfer over to Ed Mystic. You still using your...
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so focusing and doing your thing. Yep. Okay, so give me a roll.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Give me a roll, please. Okay.
Be a
rightio.
4 and a 6.
Okay, boom. Okay, there's a huge drop in tone, and you can feel it, like the energy flow is almost like a trickle right now. You're not sure that, what's going to happen next, but like it's gone from a flow to almost a trickle. Like in one attempt, you've really reduced whatever's happened.
Good.
End of the round, blink, 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 light goes off, you're down to 2 lights on.
Okay.
Yep. Initiative, folks. Okay, Kulak, you're inside. I'll get you to go first.
Anything upstairs?
There's some bedrooms and toilet, but nobody else. The bedrooms, yeah, they're pigs. Whoever live here are absolute pigs. But apart from that, yeah, nothing.
Cool. I'll shoot downstairs and smash the wardrobe.
Yep. Okay, it falls down. It was the whatever. It was the elevator thing.
Yep. And is the elevator up here, is it?
Yeah.
Cool. I get on the radio. Found the elevator. Guy's not here.
Okay. And we go to Abyss. What are you doing outside? That young guy's still...
Yeah, foaming, frothing.
yeah.
So attempt to calm him down as one action, and then, if I can, attempting to use my water, try and sort of stem the foam that he's got coming off him, so in the hopes that I can wash it straight back down the bloody sewer.
Make the roll.
Attempt to calm him down. There's a 6.
Yep. So he sort of comes down. Unfortunately, he's still got a... He like shakes his hands, which
Yeah.
sends
And like I
his
say,
stuff all over the place.
I'll wash it off.
Okay, as you do, you will have to take a point of damage.
Yep.
But and there it does pit the surfaces where it's hit, but it's it's safe again.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So on an 8, he is being reasonable.
Right.
Back to, is that everyone?
Evan Mystic on a 9.
Oh, sorry, I missed you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sorry.
That's
Oh no,
okay.
oh, 9. Yeah. Or these are all not you and Elvis are 9s anyway. So yeah. So yep. So yep. What are you doing?
Well, I was on a 10, but
Oh, okay. No, it's just 9 there.
that was the roll that I made for calming douchebag down.
Oh, okay. Right, yeah. Cool. Okay, Evan Mystic, what are you doing? You trying to...
Continuing. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't let whatever this is trying to do.
Yep. Focusing?
That's a 6 and a 1. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you feel the flow completely cut off, and that tone drops really low and then just stops. And the light blinks and leaves one light on. It doesn't seem to blink or do anything.
the equivalent of stopping the bomb at 1 second remaining.
One, yep.
Yeah, it's always got to be dramatic, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, so basically, job well done. You discovered something. You still don't quite know who, but this is the role. So Kulak, you
Can you remember his face?
or try to identify. Yep. So give me a 2d6 roll, please, Kulak.
Can I focus?
No.
Well, that will do.
Okay, you have a general description. It would have taken 2 successes to be perfectly spot on. So you have a general description of a gentleman, rough age 50ish, greying hair, sort of hawkish-like nose, hair, no distinguishing other facial features. You can't even quite remember the colour of his eyes, sort of thing, and all the action that happened. So you got a general idea of someone in their 50s, really.
He looks like an old mad scientist.
Possibly. But the guys at the thing try to put together a digital picture as best they can according to your description. It sort of meets what your memory is kind of like, so you do have a sort of picture that you can send off to the police and also do your own searching on. Your searching will so Evan Mystic, if you can be a 2d6 for your folk doing all their computery stuff, please.
Focus?
No focus, no. They can't, it's just got to work until they get something. Not really focus. That is
Got a 3 and a 5.
5, okay. So, by their records, they do search, and there's 3 guys in the town that sort of fit this description. One happens to be the police commissioner, who does actually have an alibi and witnesses of where he was at the time of the takedown, which is always good. The other one is of a retiree
His
benefit.
evil twin.
Yeah, a man on a benefit, a retiree. And the other one is a doctor that worked at the hospital.
Investigate that guy.
Yeah, so the doctor of the hospital, Dr. Anik, is he was interested in genetics and basically gene therapies was his special area. Yeah, so that's his thing. That's what you find out. You don't find out too much more. Apart from that, yeah, he's had no issues with the law. He actually lives over, doesn't live on any of the islands. He lives way over here somewhere to the, oh, that's good if I could use the right thing, on the west side of the city, on the mainland. Yeah, solo person, lives by himself sort of thing. Yeah, nothing. The beneficiary just was a maintenance worker most of his life. That was it really. Not much else to say. A widower, no children. Yeah, but that's about all you've got on them. So what do you want to do with this information?
We're going to go investigate Dr. Quackopolis.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
The Mechanix is also possible, just going off the name.
well, Dr. Quackopolis doesn't seem to be showed up for work today, nor is he receiving any phone calls, which is kind of odd.
I was actually going more for his private abode.
Okay. Moving over there, there doesn't seem to be, it's a rented place, it doesn't seem to be anyone home.
Does that not surprise me?
Do a facial recognition search through all the cameras in town.
Okay. You do
Because we'll
that.
have a photo of the guy now.
Yep. You've got a facial recognition. He was last seen. Sorry, I've got to move it up a little bit. So you guys, most of the action was sort of happening down here. The last facial recognition was, he was on the metro up here somewhere.
And is that where he got off?
No, he was just on the metro. He didn't appear at any point where you get off at any of those points.
Cool. So check between that metro and that metro. Shut down the station and check the tunnels.
So you guys can do that. Well, you don't have to shut it down. You guys can do that. That's not a problem. There's no, like, several days go by. He hasn't reported back to the hospital. He's not at his home, not answering any calls. Everything you check, you go through the tunnels. He's not. Well, there's no evidence of being there. The only thing you do find is that when you sort of look more closely back here on K Road, whatever it's called, that there is a small tunnel in the kitchen from the kitchen floor into the tunnelway to the metro. But you just happen to miss Kulak.
Can I want to do a detector spell that will detect for that energy, that extra dimensional energy that
Sure.
roll.
Yep, make your roll, please. And nope, you're not picking anything up at the moment. So, but you can try again the next day if you want to. Okay, so that's a 1 and a 4. Still not quite picking anything up.
See that? Can I focus this time?
Yeah, sure. So on the third day.
Focus.
Yeah, third day we're trying to explore everything. Yep. So
of course I wouldn't have to focus.
you definitely pick that up. You pick it up on Juggernaut, on the girl, on the acid boy, and several other places around the city, which is easy to find out. And yeah, there is a very slight, and it's sort of decaying trail that sort of moves up here and moves along to here, and then it moves north up to here, and then it sort of dissipates. So he was on the metro that eventually led to the international airport.
Oh, so okay.
He may have gone that way. May have, or that he might have just. But then again, there's no camera surveillance to indicate he got off there, and there's no camera surveillance to indicate that he got off there either at the airport. But there's definitely a very faint energy trail that sort of peters out somewhere along here. So, having said that, you've wrapped up part of the story, and that means as we fade out from the story of Silver City and the, what did you guys call yourself? Aegis, yeah.
Silver
Aegis, you all get an experience point for role play, an experience point for defeating the enemies, and a role play, an experience point for advancing the plot.
Yay.
So 3 XP each.
Huzzah.
Huzzah, and unfortunately
See?
that is... I'll
That's
stop
it, the
recording.
end.
That's it for now.